But something else that's very important to us in the construction industry is safety in everything that we do. We know that we need to keep our employees safe in their day-to-day, especially now with the new COVID PPE procedures. We know that if our employees don't work safely, they're not going to go home to their families in the same way that they came to work every day. Get over there. Come on, sit down. Come on, up. Thank you. Fat ass. Some of the things that I talk to a lot of new applicants about is doing the 10 simple things that require zero talent. I guess I better redo that because I kind of paused there. One of the things I talk to a lot of new hires and new applicants about is doing the 10 simple things that require zero talent. So some of those are being punctual, being teachable, being on time, having good positive attitude, good body language. I feel like if people do those 10 simple things, I can train pretty much anybody to do our job.
So when you talk about those 10 simple things, just kind of reel off a few of them.
So the first and probably the most important is being positive. The second thing would be being punctual, being prepared, having good body language. Those are some of the most important things. And again, if you can do those things, I can teach you guys pretty much anything else that you need to learn. But coming with those couple simple things is just huge. It makes you more, makes you a better teammate. Makes you other folks want to work with you and want to train you. I've been preached that my whole life, and that's just something that I try to do coming in every day. I mean, there's the glass is half empty, the glass is half full. You can make lemonade out of lemons, and we could go round and round with lots of different metaphors like that. But I truly believe in those things because there's a lot of things that come up on the job sites or on service calls that we weren't expecting, and you can look at them one of two ways. So we choose to look at them positive here. We're going to talk a little bit about the work-life balance thing. Mm-hmm. I know that in this industry, especially in our in this industry and our economic climate, especially over the last few years, the construction has been very busy in our area, and so it becomes a challenge to try to have a good work-life balance for myself, but also our employees. And so that's something that I am aware of and that I work with our guys on often, because I know that work is not the most important thing to them in the world. They've got families, they've got hobbies, they've got other things that they want to do outside of work. And so I try to accommodate that as much as I can. It's definitely a fine line, because we want to have that hard driving and high performance approach. But by the same token, we want our people to be healthy, both physically and mentally, so that they can come and do the best job that they can do. So it's something that we are constantly working on to try to keep our people at the top of their game. Another thing that's on my things is respect. Something that I always give to our employees. They know that I'm going to respect them on the jobs. I'm going to treat them. What's the word I'm looking for? I'm not going to swear at them. You're not going to be sweared at Kalamazoo Mechanical.
Depends.
You're right. Yeah, it depends. Respect is a big thing for us. We want to be respectful of all our employees, and we just expect that they give us that same respect back. And we talk in a professional manner. We're all professionals, so that's just something that somebody can rest assured that they would have working for us.
When you talk about that respect and that communication, talk about how important it is that your people are able to communicate with the customer and the other people they work with on the job.
Communication is huge on a construction site or in a service environment. And that's one of the reasons why we invest in Dale Carnegie training for a lot of our employees, just because it's something I don't think a lot of people have heard before. And I think that there's so many different things that are hard to see and touch and feel. There's so many different things that go into construction a lot of people don't know. So being able to articulate those things in a positive way and in a accurate way is very important. I'm trying to think.
Tell me how you approach costs and how do you keep costs down for yourselves and for the customer.
So when we do an estimate for a job, we fill out a budget, and that as we go through the process of ordering all the materials, it's a good check of how was our budget, how were the costs allocated when we did the bid. As we go through the construction process and the costs start coming in, we continually, every month, we analyze those costs and we say, how did we do on the estimate versus the actual? And, again, it comes back to being able to have those honest and difficult conversations, whether it be with our customer or whether it be with our employees, to say, hey, are we being a good steward of the customer's money? And are we being a good steward of our own money? Do we use the correct materials? Are we using the correct manpower? Occasionally we have to have those discussions with customers when the costs escalate above what we had originally talked about, and we want to be fair with people. We want to say, hey, this is exactly how we bid the project, or no, we've had some changes, and now we would like to discuss the costs and say how do we adjust these things. Many of the projects we work on are a fixed cost, so there's no room for that unless we have a design change, and at that time there's many construction managers that are better to work with in those situations where, hey, we've had some design changes, therefore there's going to be some cost changes, and we want to be able to have that open and honest conversation with someone.
Great, good. Don't move. I'm going to just get another camera angle here. Okay, I'll just talk towards the camera there for me.
Okay. One of the things, are they still going?
Yeah, give me a second. There you go. Okay, go ahead.
One of the things that I've been focusing more on lately is trying to get out to the job sites more and just have conversations with people, because so often it comes across in the construction industry now where everything is email or everything is text, and so I think that's something that we really have to keep our eyes on, is not losing that personal touch with people, because so many things get lost in context over the email, and so that's one of the things that I really do try to work on and have conversations with people, and and that's holding myself accountable. It also holds other people accountable, and I think that's very important, and it's something that so easily just gets lost sight of today.
Absolutely. What are some of the funny things that have happened through your career with Kalamazoo Mechanical?
I wasn't prepared for that one. I think that in general, most of our guys get along pretty well, and so that they can have fun on the job sites. Whether that just be listen to the radio or cracking jokes with each other, and they spend a lot of times more time with their coworkers than they do with their families at home. So, again, a lot of our guys have worked together for many years, and we have a lot of sayings that have come down over the years that somebody said to somebody 10 years ago, and so now they're re-saying it. One of them comes to mind is our guy Santiago that you worked with at Van Buren a few weeks ago. He's a foreman. He's been with us for I think 8 or 9 years. And when he was told when he first started working for us, the foreman that he was working under always used to repeat to him, "I told Irv I want no more rookies, and he sends me you." So that's one of those things that Santiago always brings up now with when every time he gets a new guy, it's always a joke. "Hey, I thought I told Carson no more rookies." So it's just something we always get a good laugh over. And I'm trying to think of different types of situations. I mean, man, I'm trying to think of other situations that we've had over the years that have been.
That's okay. We can come back to that. I'm going to have you introduce yourself again, and you know, say who you are and what you do.
Carson Cornish, Vice President, Kalamazoo Mechanical.
A little more, like I'm Carson Court. You know, give me a little more flavor to it.
Okay. I'm Carson Cornish, Vice President, Kalamazoo Mechanical.
Yeah, that's good. I'm going to do that again. And, go ahead.
Carson Cornish, Vice President, Kalamazoo Mechanical.
Same thing.
I'm trying to think if I should cross my legs or not. Carson Cornish, Vice President, Kalamazoo Mechanical.
Introduce yourself with I'm again. I'll make sure
Oh.
you say that.
I'm Carson Cornish, Vice President, Kalamazoo Mechanical.
One more time.
I'm Carson Cornish, Vice President, Kalamazoo Mechanical.
All right, other topics, other areas while we're here. Any thoughts on
Yeah. So a little bit more about the history of us. So Irv started the business in 1985. He was working out of downtown Kalamazoo out of a small building that he was renting. 1988, he built our first shop addition across the street. It was just a 40 by 80 pole barn, and there was an old house in the location that we're in now. In the late 90s, he added an addition to that barn, which is another 40 by 80 barn. And then they operated out of the two barns or shops that were our fabrication shops for 25, 30 years. Our office was always this, basically an old farmhouse here. And then in 2017, we kind of got to thinking that, hey, we've outgrown things. We want a new facility that we can continue to grow with. So we built this building. It was a 10,000 square foot mixed-use building. So we have a shop on 7,500 square feet, and we have office on 2,500 square feet. It's a two-level office. We've got a lot of room to grow. We worked out of a small office trailer while the house was demolished and this building was being built. So that was a challenging time for have 6 office staff in the small office trailer during that time. But we built it in one summer, and we moved in November of 2018. And we've been in here, and we've been just all the different positives and opportunities that have come to us since we built the new building are things we wouldn't have imagined. Just so many comments from just local area businesses as they drive by. They'll say, "Wow, that building looks really, really nice." We didn't even recognize the place. We didn't. It's just still the same business. So, same with new talent coming in. I mean, people like to work in a building that's new and it's modern, that's comfortable. We did radiant heat throughout all the floors in the building. Just 1 for energy efficiency, 2 for practicality, just because we're always opening the overhead doors and it recovers so much faster. But 3 for just through employee comfort. I mean, people love just the feeling of the radiant heat. So that's why another reason why we did it throughout the building. Obviously, we've got energy efficient air conditioning systems as well. They're all modulating heating and cooling. So, we try to use it as a showpiece for bringing customers in and just talking about some of the different things that we're doing here, and that say, hey, we can do this for you as well. So, other things. We primarily use this shop area as storage space, and we also have room for an addition in the future, which allows us, we have 10,000 square feet of parking lot back behind our building, which allows for future expansion. We also have a truck dock now that we can take larger deliveries with. We wanted to do that for a few different reasons, but one of them was that on a lot of the job types, they're asking for right-on-time deliveries now, and that becomes so challenging when dealing with trucking companies that you're not directly contracted with. So we're taking more deliveries here, allows us to have our shop staff make the deliveries to the job site right on time when things are needed. Some of the other investments we made this year is we put a new server in to handle our IT needs and all the needs of our employees, and we put a lot into IT, as far as laptops, tablets, smartphones, cloud-based services for all our employees. We just feel like that makes people so much more productive nowadays. So, we spend tons of money every year in technology and just trying to make ourselves as cutting edge as we can, just because, again, we pour so much into people. We give them so much responsibility that I don't want them to be hindered by something as small as a slow tablet or an old laptop or a smartphone that doesn't work. So we put a lot into that. The other things from a technology standpoint is we bought a new plotter this year, so we print all our own drawings here for the people who still want to see the hard copies of things. What else?
Talk about quality of the products that you put into the buildings you work on.
So we install most of the major equipment brands: York, Train, Carrier, Dakin, Lochinvar, Airco, B&G, Grundfos, just to name a few. Most of those brands are universally accepted from local engineers, architects, construction managers. They're typically what's spec'd, and we've had to get certified in many of those brands over the years, just because most brands are going to require you to be installing and maintaining them as a certified contractor. As far as the quality and the workmanship that we do, we know that the customers that we work with are demanding, so they're not going to allow us to put something in that's not top-notch quality. We're going to end up having to redo it later. So we try to do it right the first time every time, because it doesn't pay to do things twice.
Tell me about the crane and getting things on top, buildings falling in line with safety,
Right.
Stuff like that. So.
Sure. In many of the projects we work on, we are required to use heavy equipment to hoist our equipment into place, rig our equipment into place, roll it, whatever it takes. So that uses cranes, forklifts, articulating boom lifts, four-wheel drive scissor lifts, regular scissor lifts, many different pieces of equipment. So safety is huge with those things. It also presents a scheduling opportunity for us to hit things perfectly, where we're coordinating our trucking deliveries with our equipment deliveries, and also having our correct offloading equipment on site, so that we can take things directly off of a delivery truck and put them into place on the job sites. And that is it's a major challenge for our project management teams, something because they all have different contractual lines, so we might have a contract with Train to provide the rooftop units, who then Train has a contract with a trucking company to deliver it, and then we might have a separate contract with a rigging contractor to unload it. So there's a lot of coordination that goes into that, and it's challenging, but when it works smoothly, it definitely saves a lot of time and money. So that's something that we work hard on.